A motorway is a public road. The access is indicated with the first traffic sign and the exit with the second traffic sign. A motorway is a road designed for fast traffic. It is an easy drive because there are no level crossroads or crossroads with traffic lights. Vehicles with trailers are allowed on the motorway, except mopeds, farm vehicles, motorized quads without passenger space, and tows of fairground vehicles. Speed. In contrast with regular roads, you can drive 120 km per hour on the lanes of a motorway. This is only possible when driving conditions are safe and authorized persons or traffic signs do not prohibit it. This sign means a maximum speed limit of 90 km per hour on the two left lanes and 70 km per hour on the right lane. This sign indicates the distance of 1.5 km where the maximum speed limit starts. On the left and the middle lane 90 km per hour. On the right lane 70 km per hour. On a motorway you have to drive at least 70 km per hour, of course in the right circumstances. Vehicles that cannot drive so fast, mopeds, farm vehicles, are prohibited on a motorway. The towing with an emergency clutch link is prohibited on motorways and express roads. At some exits you can see this combination of signs. This indicates a maximum speed limit of 90 km per hour on the exit. Traffic in windless weather can be the source of smog. The small dust particles cause health problems. In order to not increase this smog, a temporary, one or several days, speed limit of 90 km per hour can be imposed on motorways. The speed limit is indicated by electronic signs. A sign 90, C43, with a plate smog. Studded tires can be placed from the 1st of November till the 31st of March on vehicles with a maximum gross weight up to 3.5 tons. Maximum 90 km per hour on motorways and roads with 2x2 lanes separated by a central reservation. Maximum 60 km per hour on regular roads. At the edge of the right lane there is a solid continuous white line painted. Next to this line is the breakdown lane. On this lane you can not drive, not wait, not park, even for looking at a map or for answering your mobile. This breakdown lane can only be used when your car breaks down or with an accident. If the orange road markings indicate that you are allowed to drive on the hard shoulder, this is of course allowed. When you stop on a breakdown lane, you have to put immediately a warning triangle at least 100 meters behind your car, on ordinary roads 30 meters. The triangle must always be visible for oncoming traffic from a distance of 50 meters. Passengers and driver should wait behind the crash barriers for the emergency services. A driver who leaves the vehicle must be wearing a reflective safety jacket that is obligatory in the car. Passengers are not obliged, but should do it too. 112 is the international emergency number, a very important number that you have to memorize. The rush hour lane. In order to keep the traffic flowing at some places or some periods, the rush hour lane is open for traffic. This way there is more road capacity at rush hours. How it works. A white discontinuous line separates the rush hour lane from the regular lanes. A red cross above the lane indicates that you are not allowed to drive on it. A green arrow above the lane indicates that you are allowed to drive on the rush hour lane. Because the rush hour lane can be smaller than a regular lane, you see a sign above that indicates a lower maximum speed. When your car breaks down, then you are not allowed to stop on the rush hour lane. Try to drive until you are at a refuge. Rescue strip. In the event of a traffic jam, drivers driving on a carriageway with two or more continuous lanes in their direction of travel, not just on motorways, must preventively form a rescue lane for the emergency services. This must be done before traffic comes to a stop. On a two-lane carriageway. Between the left and right lanes. On a three-lane carriageway. Between the left and center lanes. When forming a rescue lane. The drivers in the right-hand lane are in principle not allowed to divert to the closed rush hour lane, the hard lane, the bus lane or the special drive-over bed for buses. Wrong-way drivers. On the motorway, you do not expect to meet another road user driving in the opposite direction on the left-hand lane. This is then referred to as a wrong-way driver. Fortunately, not every wrong-way driver causes an accident, but when it does, the consequences are usually dramatic. These are usually head-on collisions at high speeds, where the occupants of the vehicles have little chance. How to react? Slow down and drive in the right lane. That is the best way to limit the consequences of such an encounter.
To put your phone away and keep your eyes on the road.
When you look to the left and to the right, okay, you're looking for speed limit signs. Up the road,
coming. Yep,
zigzag pattern.
Okay.
So you want to put your foot on the brake, try to slow your car down as much as possible. There you go. You got it. So whenever there's a wrong way driver, pull to the right.
To the right.
Even if there's a car next to you, pull to the right. If you're going to hit them, know that you have your airbags and your seatbelts on properly.
Right.
That'll safeguard your life.
Studies show that wrong-way drivers are very inclined to drive on the right, so in front of you the left lane. If necessary, flash your lights when you cross the wrong-way driver, but not before, as you could cause him to panic. Report the wrong-way driver to the police. Overtaking. Even on a motorway, you should drive on the right lane as much as possible. If the driver in front of you drives slower than the maximum speed limit, then you are allowed to overtake on the left. Obstinate drivers who always drive in the middle or on the left lane are a pest on the motorway. They act as if the road belongs to them alone, and they provoke others to overtake on the right, which is prohibited. It is a serious offense. Traffic jam. When there is a lot of traffic, or there are queues of traffic, it doesn't matter if the traffic on the right lane is faster than the one on the left or in the middle, because this is not considered as overtaking in the traffic regulations. It is safer to use your queue to drive on. If there is a traffic jam, motorcycles are allowed to ride between the two left lanes of traffic, at a maximum speed of 20 km per hour faster than the other vehicles, and at maximum 50 km per hour. To drive up a motorway. When driving up the motorway via the acceleration lane, you must give right of way to the drivers who are already on the motorway. There is no zipping. What is prohibited on a motorway? On a motorway is prohibited waiting or parking on the lanes or on the breakdown lane. Also on the entry or exit lane. Driving on a cross connection or a verge. Driving backwards. Driving in the wrong direction. Towing a vehicle with an emergency clutch link. Driving slower than 70 km per hour or faster than 120 km per hour. Interchange. The place where two motorways merge. There are no junctions on a motorway. There are still places where two motorways merge. This place is called an interchange. Via an interchange, you can drive from one motorway to another. Temporary driving license. When you have a temporary driving license, you are allowed to drive with a car on a motorway in Belgium.